There's a feeling of safety that comes from watching your front porch, from seeing the world through your doorbell camera, knowing you're protected. But sometimes, these cameras capture more than deliveries and neighbors. Sometimes, they show us things that aren't meant to be seen. Moments that reveal the true dangers waiting just outside your door. Not all intruders try to break down doors. Some try a quieter approach, slipping in undetected. But in the silence of 3 a.m., when most people are deep in sleep, unexpected visitors can feel even more sinister. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, the quiet hum of a neighborhood was broken at 3 a.m., but no one realized it at the time. The only witness was a Ring camera, watching silently as an unknown woman approached a house under cover of darkness. She moved cautiously, her hands fumbling with a set of keys, testing each one in the lock as though she had every intention of walking right in. Inside, the homeowner slept, unaware of the silent figure just beyond the door. Hours later, he woke to a notification on his phone, a motion alert from his doorbell camera. Curious, he reviewed the footage, his grogginess replaced by shock as he watched the scene unfold. There she was, looking around, trying each key with growing frustration. She never looked into the camera, as though she sensed its silent, watchful presence. After several minutes, the woman began to grow agitated. The footage showed her muttering to herself, her movements becoming erratic. She bent down and picked up a handful of small rocks, hurling them at the homeowner's parked car in a fit of frustration. Then, with an eerie determination, she tested the locks again, as if something beyond her control compelled her to enter. She tested the locks again, even trying to insert her keys into the doorbell camera itself, as though desperate to remove the gaze she couldn't see, but somehow felt. Eventually, she stumbled away into the night, leaving only questions and the footage behind her. Was she lost, under the influence, or was she waiting for someone or something? The eeriness of the footage, her shadowy figure moving in and out of view, haunts the homeowner to this day, who has no answers, only a haunting clip and a memory of how close she came to slipping inside. Not every visitor on a Ring camera is subtle, or even human. In Daytona Beach, Florida, an unexpected intruder decided to make an appearance, one that's as terrifying as it is wild. Walter Hickok was taking his 3 dogs outside when one of them froze, staring intently at the shadows just beyond the yard. Walter turned to see what had captured the dog's attention, and then he saw it, a massive black bear prowling closer. This wasn't the bear's first encounter with humans. Florida residents had reported bear sightings in the area, but nothing could have prepared Walter for just how close he would come to the predator. The footage shows the bear moving with unsettling ease, scaling the low fence with barely a sound, its dark eyes fixed on the dogs. In that moment, instinct took over. Walter sprang into action, lunging forward to protect his pets, grabbing a chair and thrusting it between the bear and his dogs. The bear hesitated, its massive paws gripping the fence. Walter's shouts echoed through the yard, sharp and desperate. He could feel the tension, the power of the animal just feet away, sensing its intent. But in a rare moment of luck, the bear turned, retreating back into the woods, perhaps more out of confusion than fear. Shaken, Walter grabbed his dogs and hurried inside, his heart pounding as the weight of what had just happened sank in. Though he and his dogs escaped with only minor injuries, the encounter left a scar that can't be seen, a reminder of how close they all came to a very different fate. The footage captures every tense moment, each frame a reminder of nature's raw, unpredictable danger. It is both eerie and silent, showing the moment again and again, a dark shadow passing through the yard, a fleeting encounter with something both primal and untamed. And then there are the encounters that seem almost ordinary, until the illusion shatters. One late night in Texas, a Ring camera captured a woman on a homeowner's porch, her expression calm, almost friendly. She held a bag of food in one hand and knocked, claiming to be a DoorDash driver delivering an order. But something was off. It was well past midnight, and the homeowner hadn't ordered anything. The woman lingered, glancing around, shifting her weight as if waiting for someone to answer. The footage shows her peering into the camera, her gaze sharp, as if she's looking for more than just a friendly face. Inside, the homeowner hesitated, watching the strange visitor through her phone. She didn't answer, a decision that may have saved her life. Because just moments later, a second camera in the backyard caught movement. 4 men creeping through the yard, their figures blending with the shadows as they approached the house's back windows. It was clear now. The woman at the door was a decoy, a distraction meant to draw someone outside while her accomplices broke in from behind. As the men tried to force open a window, the woman at the front door continued her act, knocking lightly and calling out. But with no answer from the homeowner, she eventually gave up. The footage captures her walking away, regrouping with the men in the backyard. Together, they left in a dark-colored sedan, a group of intruders thwarted by a watchful eye and a locked door. Police are still searching for the suspects, but the homeowner's footage remains, a haunting reminder of how close she came to letting them in. It's a scene that reminds us how something as mundane as a delivery could be a mask for something darker. Sometimes, a closed door and a watchful eye are the only things standing between safety and a nightmare waiting to unfold. Danger doesn't always announce itself at the door. Sometimes it wears a disguise, a uniform, something meant to inspire trust. In June 2019, in Chicago, residents found themselves visited by a man posing as a police investigator. He came equipped with a fake badge, a police radio, even the lingo, going so far as to introduce himself as Investigator Jeff Rushmore. Ring cameras captured his visits, showing him standing confidently on doorsteps, asking questions, and even calling in backup to an imaginary dispatcher. At one home, he knocked, waiting patiently. He knocks and waits, his gaze calm, his demeanor unsettlingly professional. When no one answered, he pretended to report back on the unresponsive house, his act as convincing as any real officer's. Days later, another clip from a nearby house shows him again delivering the same performance, telling homeowners he's investigating a missing persons case. But this time, someone answers the door. The camera captures the interaction, showing the imposter standing close, peering inside, asking probing questions about the household. The footage spread across local social media, and soon, residents were on high alert, warned to stay wary of this man. As disturbing as his visits were, his true intentions remain unknown. Who was Investigator Rushmore really? Was he scoping out homes for later, gaining residents' trust with his act? Or did he have another, darker goal in mind? His visits ended without incident, but the footage, and the memory of that stranger's voice, remains in every homeowner's mind. The residents never found out. Investigator Rushmore vanished as suddenly as he'd appeared, leaving a trail of unease, unanswered questions, and the reminder that not everyone at your door is who they seem to be. But not all intruders are strangers. Sometimes the danger is personal, and it's not a stranger lurking outside, but someone you once knew. Some come back with a vendetta, a personal motive that's all too familiar. In Kansas City, one woman's Ring camera caught a nightmare as it unfolded just outside her home. Her ex-boyfriend, whom she had left months before, had returned, and this time he wasn't content to watch from afar. The video shows him creeping onto her porch, reaching up to tamper with the camera, trying to rip it down. He steps back, frustrated, and disappears from view. But he's not gone for long. Within half an hour, he's back, this time with a dark cloth to drape over the lens, blocking the camera entirely. But what happened next was far worse. Just moments after he disappeared, the woman's car parked outside erupted in flames. Minutes after he vanishes, the woman's car bursts into flames. The fire spreads, crackling and consuming the vehicle in a matter of minutes, then leaping toward the side of her house. By the time firefighters arrive, her car is destroyed and her home is badly damaged. But the camera captured enough to identify the arsonist, her ex, caught in the act, a man willing to risk everything in a moment of rage. Police are still searching for him, but for the woman, the incident has already left a lasting mark. The footage doesn't just document his rage, it immortalizes the fear and fury that drove him to such a violent act. Every time she replays the footage, she sees the fury in his actions, the recklessness that could have taken not just her property, but her life. It's a chilling reminder of how close she came to becoming another victim, another statistic of domestic violence, with her doorbell camera as the silent witness. These Ring doorbell cameras were meant to keep us safe, to provide us a sense of control over our homes. But sometimes, they capture more than expected. Glimpses of real danger, hidden behind friendly faces, familiar services, or even the darkness itself. These moments remind us that safety can be an illusion, and that sometimes, the most disturbing things are those seen right at our front door.